Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, hello, Kay Hamilton. It's so nice to be with you, lovely.
Hello, Missy Rivers, and it's so nice to be with you. We've been brewing this for a little while, and it's exciting to be together. It's great.
Yeah. As soon as I hit that play button, I was like, oh, I actually got a little bit of tears in my eyes. Yeah. So lovely. You and I have worked out to do some collaboration because I think that we're in alignment with what we want for the world and what we want for other people, and we just want the best for people, I think. So we're going to have a little bit of a few sessions together, and we're going to get to know you better. We're going to get to know myself better, and then we're going to discuss what are the tools that we both use to make sure we're living life well, and we might be able to help other people along the way.
Absolutely. That's what it's about, bringing the world with us, isn't it? One drop at a time is what I say.
I like that. So people who don't know, Kay is an amazing oil guru. I said that wrong. And that's what drew me to you, actually. Lovely. So I personally would like to get to know you better. So I know enough to know that I want to work with you, but you work with oils. Do you want to tell me a little bit more about your journey?
Yes. Thanks. And so wonderful, so exciting to be collaborating with you. I'm really impressed, and thank you very much for connecting. It's just great. So, hey, Tiffy is on, and I was going to tag you. I haven't got round to that yet, so you've found us. So can you do some sharing for us, Tiffy, please, and Tina?
So much goddess on the screen.
Yeah, it's great. So much goddess on the screen. Fantastic. So what I want to share with people is really I've come from my dark side of my background, and life's experiences that haven't been so good. My story of being a single mom and going through devastation, and all of that has been in my past. But in 2010, that was my spiritual awakening. Well, actually, yeah, when my husband left me.
In 2010.
No, that happened a lot earlier than that. I can't remember now. It's so long ago. But I was breastfeeding my youngest. I had 3 kids, and that was the beginning of the awakening for me, which I think we all have this point where we have an awakening, or we realize that life isn't maybe what we hoped or thought it really is. And that kind of opened the door for my spiritual journey, really, and discovering, more about myself and more about other people. And I went through a process of putting myself back together again, as many of us have. So what I also discovered was in 2010, because I was listening to what I call divine nudges, and I had something going through my head that said, get something to put on your body that's going to be good for you, and that's going to make you feel nourished and nurtured and, empowered. And I'm thinking, what's this about? Because I don't put chemicals, I don't use perfumes, I've avoided lots of things in life. However, this thought just kept coming up, and I thought, well, I wonder what this is about. And then I got an email from some people who were promoting Young Living oils. And I thought, I'm actually a teacher by trade, and I was in school holidays. So I had the mind space to think about what was in the email and to take some action. And I thought, well, if they're into organics, these people, and they're into traditional seeds, they're into sustainability, they must know what they're talking about. So I did some research, and I bought my first kit of oils, which was a pack of 10 oils. I hadn't even smelt them. And when I got them home and I opened the packet, I could smell this gorgeous, delicious aromas coming out of the packet. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'd smelt essential oils before, but I'd never smelt oils like these. And that was just incredibly amazing.
Do you think your soul needed that? Like, it's almost like it wasn't just I need some water, like your soul needed that to help you.
Yes.
Yeah, wow.
And little did I know at the time what that decision was going to lead to. You know, I'm a Reiki master, and I'd done color therapy. I'd done quite a few things like that. And I always thought I could go into practice or something. That I never got around to doing that. But these oils just, what could I say? They just lit up all the cells in my body. Or even now, I'll pick up an oil and smell it, and you just go, oh, isn't that beautiful? So it's like nourishment for the heart, mind, and the soul. That's right.
Yeah.
So totally transformational experience for me. And I think at that time I was still going through some court cases and some tough things happening in my world. But when I got my oils, like, what have I got here? I've got this one here, Vela. It's in a roll-on now. Whoops. Now, this is the one that gave me the strength and the courage to go to court and to do what I needed to do, take action, support my family. And the oils just gave me courage, and they gave me the ability to express my emotions without falling in a heap. Look, they've just been such an endless source of joy, empowerment, and a great way to support your healthy lifestyle.
I think oils, and this is part of the reason I wanted to, connect with you personally, because I love your show on SED. But part of that was, I know people work with crystals, and it's so much, crystals have really taken off, and people are understanding their energy and they support you. I'm going to wear a tiger's eye for willpower. I'll wear rose quartz for self-love. But to be honest, sometimes the crystals, because of the way they're produced these days, can have some funky energy, or they, as with does everything. But I think oils is something that is underrated. And when I heard you talking about the oils, it makes so much sense when people go, oh, what do you mean oil gave you support during a court case? Well, just the same as you'd have like a tourmaline in your pocket,
Yes. Oh, don't worry, I had my crystals in my pocket too.
Yeah,
it's just got to arm up with everything. All you is me, they're my healing tools or my spiritual tools or whatever it is. So that's and the thing about the oils is it's all about the vibration, which is the same as crystals. It's the vibration of the oils, and that's what makes Young Living oils stand alone, because I've never smelt any oils that carry the vibrations of Young Living. And that is because how they're grown, how they're distilled, how they're harvested, how they're distilled, because they distill them at certain temperatures, and every plant has a different temperature that it needs to be distilled at to keep the therapeutic value intact.
Isn't that amazing?
If you bake a cake and you cook it too hot, it'll be, it won't be nice and light and fluffy and won't taste so good. Well, the oils are the same. And not many oil companies, I discovered, actually adhere to or know anything really about all that kind of that side of things.
Pardon my ignorance, but before I heard you actually mention this in your show with beautiful Tiff, I had no idea. My ignorance was, I guess I hadn't done my research, and I'm sure maybe other people watching this feel the same. But it was like, well, you would assume that just go out and harvest and when they need it and then do it. But from what you've said, that makes total sense to me, and I can't believe it didn't click before. But basil might need a certain time, temperature, lavender. It's great.
Yep. There's one we have in northern Canada, and the time to harvest that is when it is thick in snow, because that is the time that the plants are releasing what they need for their protection, and that's what we need for our bodies. So an essential oil is when it's distilled properly, grown and distilled properly, it is very close to our blood. So that is why it is worth getting the pure quality, and ours are organic and all good thoughts. Gary Young used to sing to his plants or talk to his plants and things like that. So when you've got that intention, I'm a big person for intention. So if you want to get something done, you've got to have your mind set on track. And then, so when we use oils with intention, for example, this Valor You could use this one and say, I am calm and strong.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that actually magnifies the quality of the oil.
Yeah.
I've got some people, yay, someone's using her beautiful Young Living oils, covering herself in wintergreen, thieves, lavender, and have your crystals. Good on you, Kelsey. And
Wow.
Tiffany, I'm supposed to say hello with one thing, but Gary saw the Melissa was ready. Ah, yes. So um, Young Living tests the plants very regularly, because then they know with a bricks test, they know what time the plant is releasing the highest amount of those compounds we're looking for.
Wow, this is great. Okay. And when you said sometimes they're in Canada, so there's not just like a Young Living oil farm in one
No,
location, there because it's organically in
yes.
certain, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good thing to pick up, because we are actually a global company. We're the biggest company in all the world, and what I love about it is we started from humble beginnings. We started from a shed, Gary's tin shed in his backyard, making his
The
own little
best.
still up, and had passion, and he went and learnt from master distillers in France. And there's lots of stories around Young Living. Like, we've got the biggest lavender farm in all the world, but that's in France,
Of
whereas our
course.
company comes from the USA. So that's in France, and all the lavender in France was dying out, and Gary took the seeds to America and brought them back to France, and the farmers said, can we grow your seeds here, because the plants in France had all got a virus and they were sick. And so
Mm.
because he took those seeds to France, to America, when he distilled that and sent it back to the people in France to analyze, they said, my God, where did you get this lavender? We've never seen anything with, high constituents like what's happening. So the theory is that because the seeds were taken to the USA, they were in different soil, different climates, under different.
Mm.
So that brought a whole new aspect of the lavender back into the seed collection. So we have farms in Croatia. I've been to the Croatian farm where we grow helichrysum. I've been to the French farm. I've been to
Wow.
our partner farm in Hawaii where we grow the Royal Hawaiian Sandalwood. And I've been to the Young Living farm in America. So I've had some really good experiences. And it's part of the reason why I'm so passionate, because I've actually been there. I
Yeah.
see the care Young Living take
Yeah.
when they distill their oils. Now, a lot of people say, but we want to buy Australian, and I go, that's great, but you can't get frankincense in Australia. So
Yeah. It's a
a
bit
lot
tricky.
of a lot of plants we don't have here in Australia. And
Yeah.
Gary was a beautiful man on a big mission. He wanted to get essential oils into every home all around the world. So, he was not just a dreamer and a visionary. He was the one out there ploughing the paddocks. He was the one digging the holes. He was the one welding the tractors, or designing the equipment for cutting the plants as well.
Sounds like he was my kind of man.
Yeah,
Getting the job done.
yeah, exactly. Yes.
So I like when you were talking about. So I'll definitely want to come back to
Yes.
your moments, because I'm interested in your
Mm.
story, and I'm going to have questions about your dark night of the soul, your transformation. But when you were talking in your show a while ago about how it's organic, again, that's another thing that a lot of people, I certainly didn't think about, because I don't spend time thinking about how oils are made specifically. But you think about oils and the plants, that how they're treated, are they having pesticides, put on them and all of that? And then you're distilling that's going in a product that either you're going to diffuse into the air that you're going to breathe, put on
Mhm.
topically,
Yes.
burn, or
Yeah.
sometimes I know some people even put a little bit of the oils on their tongue, or, take
Yes.
in. You don't want that in your body.
Oh, no, that's right. And, I mean, I had no idea either. You just think it's an essential oil, they're going to be natural. But
Yeah.
there's a few things around that. If you go and buy an oil off the shelf, you can pick it up in a shop, and you can pick it up and it will have 100% pure oil on it. It may. However, legally, they only have to put like maybe up to 5% in Australia. Different countries have different amounts. So we've been buying oils thinking, oh, they're 100% pure, but that is
Yeah.
not the case, because that is the labeling requirements. So it's just a whole nother area of things we need to learn about and educate ourselves on. And a lot of people aren't aware of that. Like I wasn't, before 2010.
Yeah.
I had no idea around all of those things. And here's Tiffy. She's giving us lots of things to talk about here. I love it. Yes.
Hot water runs. Nuclear plant.
Oh, yes. So here's another thing. So, Gary, if we buy land, he goes for land that is untouched, like it hasn't had chemicals and things like that on it. And I remember, listening to some of his stories about, I think it was the farm up in the north of Canada, and he actually found natural gas on his own land, and he also found clean water. So two very important things to add to, the mix of these oils are really, really high quality. And also he was the kind of person that had so much faith that things fell into place. Like on the helichrysum farm, he bought this paddock that was sort of up on a bit of a hill. He had no idea at the time that the predator of the helichrysum is a type of a moth. But because of where he bought his block, he didn't have to worry about it because there was always a bit of a breeze. But he didn't know that at the time. But because he was such a pure in heart, pure in spirit, and pure in where, knowing where he wanted to go, the universe
looked after him
and stepped in and looked after him. So it's just fantastic. So now, there's one of our places where we have sometimes we have partner distilleries or partner farms. So one of our frankincenses comes out of Spain.
Ooh.
And the thing is that this factory has frankincense that they distill for everybody in the world, but there's a part of that factory that they only distill according to Young Living requirements.
This is just for us. This is just for Young Living.
Because most people are looking for a cheap product. They're not looking, they're not interested, most people don't understand for a start. So it's not that I'm knocking people, it's just that it's education. And most people are saying, well, how can we make money out of these things? And how can we buy oils cheap and on-sell them, etc., or put them in something? And, you might pick up a product and it's got frankincense on the label and go, oh, isn't that wonderful? But my question these days is, where's the frankincense come from?
Yeah, because you know the background.
Yes. And one of the things that concerns me is that most people who distill oils will put a solvent on the plant to speed up the process, which then comes back to, compromising the integrity of the therapeutic value, which also translates to affecting the vibration of the oil.
Of course it does, yeah. That's the equivalent to saying, okay, my tomatoes aren't ready yet, so I'm going to inject it with a hormone or something like that to make it be faster, and then I'm going to eat that tomato. Well, organically, it's not ready yet. Let it develop. Wow.
Exactly. Yes.
That's
so there's a lot to learn.
So, Lovely, can I take you back? Because I'm really interested in knowing a little bit more about you and your journey, because the oils are, a tool that you're using and that you're obviously very passionate about. So when you go back to 2010, do you akin that to Dark Night of the Soul? When you say spiritual awakening, what was that like?
Yeah. Look, my Dark Night of the Soul was a bit before 2010. I'm just trying to think.
What ignited that for you when you went through?
I was coming out of I wasn't right deep in it. I was on my way on the trajectory back out of it.
Yeah.
But the oils just were, to me, it was like the icing on the cake. And if I'd had them earlier, I might have had. So how can it's really hard to really explain how things work. But for example, this Valor, I'll come back to Valor. I'll just stick with that one. I believe that this oil helped me not to be triggered by situations. So, that when you get those triggers and you go back into your old patterns. Sorry?
Does it come in buckets?
Yeah. Well, the beauty is you don't need much. These oils, because they're pure, you just need a drop or two.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you smell them. So
we can bathe in it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, here's another one that everybody loves, and you talk about stress away, and everybody says, "Oh, you got buckets of that." Well, you just open the lid, and you just put it on your wrists like this. You smell it, and I like to move it in my aura, and you just immediately feel this sense of relief.
Yeah,
and it's in that moment of, oh, it puts you into a new place from a new jumping board, or a new place to come from. Amazing.
Yeah, it gives you that oily tea.
I'd love
so
it.
when you were you're going through your transformation, you had some hard times, and then from what did your day-to-day, week-to-week? So you said that you became a single mum after some time.
So what time? I was about 33.
33. Oh, that was the end of your Saturn return.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
so my ex-husband was 33 as well, so we were only a couple of months difference, and he just decided to walk out. So that was, and that's exactly what happened. And I had 3 young kids, and it was like, oh my God. And in hindsight, I wasn't aware of the earlier signs, and we had a bit of trouble, but I thought that I remember saying to him, if that's what you want to do, you go do it, but that's not what I want to do. And, no, I don't want to do that. I want to stay with you, which I realized in hindsight was all, a crock of nonsense. And, I had 3 kids, and I was so devastated. I was just gutted. But in that moment of being so gutted, there was this little light inside me that just went, you're going to be okay. And I can look back now and go, well, look what it's done for me, and look where I've gone. And yes, I've gone through hard times, the kids, all whatever else has gone on. But, and I'd done things like I'd studied Aurosoma colored healing. Do you know Aurosoma?
I've heard of it. Can you tell me a little bit about it? Maybe people don't know as well.
Well, what I liked about that was it's I haven't got any here, but little bottles, and it had colors in them, and they had, one was oil based and one was water based, so you'd have different colors in the bottles. And I started learning. That's when I discovered that I could do readings, and I had, my psychic ability was opening up, and you would pick 4 bottles and give someone a reading, and it had the energy of crystals, it had prayer, had the herbs, the oils, and it had color in it. So it was, I quite like the whole concept of Aurosoma, but that's when I learnt about how to work with color. And but there wasn't a lot of information about what was in them. There was a lot of protection around all of that, and it totally fascinated me. But then I discovered Young Living, and I just went, oh, the smell of these was amazing. And I just love the community, because we have a big community. We have a worldwide community. I know met people all around the world. I've actually won 8 trips around the world.
Oh, wow.
It's amazing. And it's just opened me up to a whole new world, and all the people that I'm close to now, they all love oils, because all my other friends who I talk to, they're not interested in talking about oils, or if I say, or they might come and say, I've got a headache or something, and I might say, try a bit of this, and people either warm to it or they don't. But I've found that I've got a whole new tribe of people, and I go online. I've got my oil group on Facebook. I'm meeting people all around the world like you. It's fantastic. So
I'm interested to know more about the erythema and your journey with that. That's interesting. But I can tell you, and if anyone else is, watching, is, in the future, about 200 years from now, there will be essential oils in every home.
Mm.
So that
Well,
helps.
Gary Young, I listened to a talk from him. I don't think it's going to be quite that far off, but it might be. But he was talking on at one of our big conventions, and he was saying that, like, he had a big graph up on the thing, but he said, like, say this is how many homes have got essential oils now, and he said by 2025 it's going to be like this. Now, Gary Young wasn't stupid, so he, and I firmly believe that we're all moving into being more aware of
Yes.
vibrations. We're all being more aware of, treading softly on Mother Earth and becoming more in alignment with Mother Earth,
Mm.
and accessing our spiritual potential, things like that. And yeah, I don't know where I'm going with that, but yes, I agree.
Yeah, I
A
think
lot
that's
of people are looking for solutions because
so
what
true.
they've been doing isn't working.
Yeah, yeah, so true. And a lot of people are waking up in terms of, and I do that, hippy dippy stuff. Oh, look at
Yeah.
that. It's like, you know what? You know,
Mm,
Tina, who's watching now, she was saying something to me yesterday that, these days you're not talking to the hippie person who, was typically got dreadlocks or all of that stuff, who lives in the bush. This is the
mm,
person who's at the office, and I'm going to take
mm.
Tina's words.
Yes.
This person, the young woman who lives in the office, who's having a bad day at work and just a bit struggling, and they just need a little pick me up, and something
Yeah.
that's not non-invasive, something that's
Yeah.
very gentle. And I've heard you say this before, and oils like crystals, and I think oils are even more powerful, to be honest. I think I'm going to rate them, that they actually work with the person differently. So if you smell an oil, if you put the oil on, right? If I put
Mhm.
one oil on and you put the same oil on, it would smell differently because it interacts with their own body and own vibration. Is that correct?
That can happen. They're actually, I can't remember the name of it, but there is an oil that actually does that for everybody. It smells differently in the bottle to on the skin, but and the thing is, where all our bodies, the energy in our body is very different. So I might smell orange oil and go, wow, it makes me feel really happy and
Yeah,
joyful, which it would for most people. But somebody might smell that same oil and go, oh no, it makes me feel sick, because it
yeah,
might have a memory, or it might trigger an old emotion that needs to come up to be released. So,
that's interesting.
as we know, when we go through traumas or past memories of feeling not well or feeling unhappy, we we notice that when we smell an oil, it might have a different impact. But what they do is they release the emotions for us. And
Hmm.
then when they are released, you've got that space for the fresh emotion that you want to come
Yeah,
in place.
yeah,
And now Tiffy's making lots and lots of comments here, which is great. She's like me, all over the oils. And, we've had conversations about, well, which oil did it for you? Or how do you think it's happened for you? And the easiest way to explain it really is, you might be really stressed about something, and then one day you'll just sort of notice that you just go and walk towards that action that might have stressed you before, and
yeah,
the stress just isn't there. And
yeah,
it's not always this cathartic, oh, instant. It
yeah.
can be that. But sometimes you just go, wow, I'm doing this very naturally. Whereas a few weeks ago, I might have gone, oh, this is not feeling comfortable. So it
Mm,
seems to be this beautiful unfoldment of, a way forward, that words don't always, come easy.
cover.
Yeah.
Tiff says during her time with the feeling protocol, she found
Yes.
Bella changed the
Oh,
smell halfway
yes.
through. So it
Yes.
affected her energy. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
So as you so back to your life, I mean, our wheels at your life, but and you live, do you mind me saying where you live?
Oh, no, that's okay.
You live in the beautiful Tasmania, right?
I do, and I live across the road from the beach, so
Do you?
yes, I am one of those hippie people that have lived in the bush, but now I live, by the sea.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
And have you always lived in Tassie?
No, I'm from Melbourne. I'm a Melbourne girl. I'm a city girl. But we used to
Oh,
have holidays in the country. Mum was a country girl, and we used to have holidays down by the beach, and they were my most favourite times,
yeah,
being in amongst nature. And I think that's why I've gravitated towards working with oils, because I garden, and I've grown veggies and herbs for many, many years. So
yeah,
it's just a natural progression. And for me, with Young Living, it ticked the boxes of organic,
yeah.
sustainability, genuine integrity. All those things had to align for me. Otherwise, I couldn't be doing what I'm doing with the
Mm,
oils.
mm. And when you were going, so you said you used the oils that started, like helped you, the Bala helped you with the court cases, and when you became a single mum at 33, it's a really big
Yes.
deal, of 3 kids. Did you have some oil uses for your children? Like, were they going to school with anxiety? Did you use some oils on them? Stuff like that. Did you help them with it?
Yes, yes. So one daughter who found it hard to sleep, for example, I'd give her stress away, and that calmed her for that. Probably.
What did you do? Did you rub it on her temples or just let
Um,
us?
So you can just roll it on your temples, or dot it on your temples, or put it in your diffuser.
Yeah.
Put it on your temples, the back of the neck, depending on what oils you use, where you put them. But I'd love the putting them on my wrist and smelling them and moving them in my aura. And then, if I've got clothes, I might rub the last bit on my clothes, and you just go somewhere and people go, "Oh my God, you just smell beautiful." What have
Good
you
for
got
you.
on today? Yeah.
So, something that not a lot of people may know watching this, that, and I was always taught this. I grew up in a very aware, I believe, aware, natural family, my extended family especially. But one thing I was always told by my uncle specifically was that if something comes in contact with your skin,
Mhm.
your skin is the biggest organ of your body. It goes naturally into your
Mhm.
bloodstream. So, thinking, oh, we're just going to put it on our skin, that's okay. It goes in your bloodstream. So you want something good in your bloodstream.
Exactly. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And then the other thing about Young Living is that we have shampoo, we have toothpaste, we have cleaning products, we have makeup. Well, my makeup is all organic and mineral makeup. And I've noticed things like, this used to be a brown mole, and that's not brown anymore. And I don't know what I've done apart from used our mineral makeups or put oils on
Wow.
myself. So, you know, we have all sorts of things that people experience when they're using these oils, and that's the important thing. A lot of people say, oh yeah, I've gone and got lavender somewhere, and well, yeah, but if it's not Young Living, I don't know that it's going
Don't
to
talk
cut
to
it. I mean, I've heard some seriously crazy stories, and I won't tell you about what lavender farm where, but I've spoken to people who've worked on lavender farms, and
Yeah.
they've actually
Can you tell us the story,
sprayed.
but not tell us?
Yeah, no, but they spray chemicals on their farms, and they put water in the oil because it doesn't pick it up, and they know how much they can add, and they
So
say it.
yeah, I would have thought that if you put water in the oil, you could actually tell, like how like oil droplets. So it's
Yeah,
not.
but they must put just a tiny amount, so it's not really detectable, and it can be from 4 different countries, and it's not from that one farm
Oh
that somebody's
wow.
learned from. So, I mean, these are just stories. When you're out and about, you hear people come up, and I've had some people saying, "Oh, yeah, I've worked at such and such a farm, and this is what they do." And so that's why I just go, Young Living does it for me, because I just know that,
Mm,
we have every stage of our process of producing an oil, it gets tested 3 times. And even if Young Living grow oils on our own farm, like one year they grew some peppermint, and it didn't come up to the therapeutic value that we were looking for in the testing.
Yeah.
So that just got put into a big barrel and it just got sent to an oil broker, which is that's people who just buy oils around the world and they on sell them. So
Yeah.
that Young Living oil was organic. Everything was great about it, but it wasn't the therapeutic value that Gary was looking for.
We're not
So
using that. Wow,
most
that's good
companies
to
don't
know.
know about all of this, and most people, it's all around education.
Yeah. Well, you're educating me. Quality tests. That's great. That's good to
Yes,
know.
it's amazing.
Wow.
I've been very lucky to have gone to the USA 5 years in a row. I went over there to a big convention, and you go and look at the farms. Our headquarters over there is winning prizes all the time because of the building and the eco side of things. They recycle their water. Everything's
Oh, that's what we
produced.
need.
It's got state of the art, whatever it's needed to be an ethically, eco. I can't
Yeah.
remember the name.
Yeah,
Can't quite.
eco-friendly, sustainable.
Yeah.
Yeah, just planet Earth friendly. It needs to be that way. That's
Yes.
and I must be because I'm spiritual, just was born like this. But for example, if I went to the shops, I was going to grab something. That's what I'm looking over there. When I was a teenager, and I wanted to buy, like, say, a bar of chocolate or something like that. I wouldn't just buy it. I would actually look at the thing and go, "Oh, where is this made? Does it have anything like cocoa beans used from slave labor in South America? Otherwise,
Yep.
I'm not using it." And I would, because I knew even as a teenager, if I was going to buy something, that is me literally endorsing that product and what happens behind the scenes.
Oh, that's good. That's being very aware.
Yeah. Well, so this is the same thing, right? Like you want to make sure that behind the scenes, they're doing the right thing by the environment, they're recycling. That's really good to know.
And the other thing is that they use local labour and pay them good rates. So they don't go in. I know one of the stories was that Gary bought some land to make a farm, and the locals wouldn't even let him get past, and they were really aggressive and whatever. And it took time for him to turn that around. And now all the locals love working on that farm, and they value having Young Living there, because wherever Young Living goes, they value add. They don't take from the local environment.
Yeah, that's really important. You're building up something with substance.
Yes.
Yeah. Rather than just making a quick buck. That's really important. So Tina says that being a Taurus, excuse me, smells have to be just right. Otherwise she gets really irritable. So yeah.
Yep.
Have you found that, like, certain points in your life, like when you've transitioned? So when you were at 2010, Valor really helped you. But if you smell Valor today, does it still give you that same kind of, or does it start to irritate you?
Oh, when it comes to Valor, it's still fantastic. But there is a blend called Joy, and I wore that all the time for my perfume. Whereas now I'm not inclined to pick Joy up. I will, and I still love it. But you find you gravitate to different oils at different times for different reasons. So, or I know some people, we've got a beautiful blend called Thieves, which is very protecting and nurturing and great for a healthy immune system. And I had a lady who, said she kept getting colds and things. I said, you need to be rubbing that Thieves on your feet, and to support her. And she said, oh, I can't stand it. And I said, well, too bad, anyway. You did. And anyway, because if there's something you really don't like, you can put it on your feet. It's away from your body. It's not so up your nose. So and then a few weeks later, she's going, oh my God, Thieves is the new black. I just love it. So what happens is our energy changes. When we start using these oils, our energy changes. So what you love tomorrow, you might, just go, yeah, me, it's okay. Or what you don't like, you can kind of go, oh, actually, it's just different. And it's different for everybody because everybody's body's different. We're all energetically very different as well.
Yeah. This is amazing. So Tiff,
Taurus, I can go to switching It up is good for you. And that's another thing, like switching the oils. Gary always recommended that we don't use the same oils all the time, or you take a break. So
Yeah.
you have a day off some oils or things like that. So here's another thing. He discovered by putting essential oils in our supplements, um, our body absorbs the supplements at 30% higher rate.
Yeah, I have heard
So
that.
yes, so not many companies actually put oils in their supplements. I'm not sure whether Young Living was the first, but we are definitely the first of so many things. And obviously, when you're on a good thing, other people want to duplicate that, which is fine. But most people don't know how to duplicate it, not to the degree of Young Living. So,
Do you have an oil for cold sores? Tina's got some cold sores.
I feel I may need an oil for that. Hey, Elizabeth Glover, so you've got another Tasmanian oiler here too. Oh, look, you could, if you've got to be very careful how you frame things up, but I
Yeah,
would be, soothing it with some lavender, frankincense. As soon as you start feeling that, tingling,
tingle. Yeah,
frankincense can settle it down. Um, when we have got things like, when we've got something wrong with our body, one, it usually means we're stressed. Two,
yes.
it means that we need more nutrition. Our bodies,
Mm,
things like cold sores. Actually, the cold sore virus lives in the base of your spine, and it's right where your central nervous system, the bottom of your central nervous system. So, I would be looking at what you can do to boost your immune system,
yeah.
things like vitamin Bs, and look, we have so many things. I know with cold sores, you need to avoid things like nuts, anything with arginine, nuts, red wine, top shelf.
Yeah, Tina won't like that.
I can give you a few clues. Hams, any processed meat, things like that. And you can also do things like take lysine. So there are so many things, and it's a holistic
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah, there's no one stop. You got to do it all collectively. I think
Yeah.
that's the issue with a lot of people. Not that Tina's one of those people. She's beautiful. She gave me this
Oh,
beautiful cup, just so you know. It's got lovely. Um,
oh, lovely.
so
Nice.
nice. But people these days, like what you were saying, people just want to have that. I just want it to be fixed. Just want it to be fixed. When we grow up with a certain mind frame, we're setting ourselves up. Like, if we, imagine how different your life would be if you grew up with oils.
Oh,
Rather than
I wish
discovering
again.
it, you have to do all that legwork. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, because when we're in true alignment with our soul, and our spirit, and our health, you're less likely to succumb to getting ill. Um,
Yes.
we and these days, I know when we go to the Young Living conferences, there's often people there who talk about epigenetics, and that's above your genes. So we come in, and we actually recently listened to a doctor, and he was saying, "Oh, look, have your genes tested, because if you've got this in your genes, you're, going to have a much higher rate at having a heart attack or whatever." Well, yes, you could get your genes tested, and that will give you some clues, but we now know that our stress levels, what we're thinking, how we're feeling is, you can have really good health, and then something can come in and blow all that out of the water, because
Yeah.
the stress is such a big factor. So
Yeah.
imagine, I mean, I know with people who are, all the young mums in Young Living now, they'll be anointing their babies with frankincense. Now, why did they take frankincense to baby Jesus?
Yeah. Mm.
What did they do for their wellness and their protection? Um, that's the sort of thing that, this is old knowledge. It's not new
Yes.
knowledge. Oils have been around for many, many, many years.
Mm.
And Gary Young came across oils from a lady who talked to him about using them for emotional wellness and balance.
Oh.
And he actually was paraplegic. when he first started using oils, and he couldn't walk for 10 to 20 years, and he learnt how to walk again. That's a whole other story. But he did go to Egypt, and he went into the pyramid, and this little guy invited him into a room, and he saw the hieroglyphs on the pyramids where they were anointing people with oils to cast away the evil spirits. Now, the evil spirits, Gary's saying, is your negative thoughts, your negative emotions, and things like that.
Yeah, wow, that's yeah, amazing. Yep.
So tend to be low in B. Thank you, blessed. Oh, beautiful. Yes, and if you're looking for some B12s, we actually even have a little sachet they've just launched this year with high in vitamin Bs. So
that's good to know. I once a quarter, I actually have to have a B12 injection because I'm a vegetarian. So
okay, yes, yep. So yes, absolutely. Tiffy, oils are as old as dirt. I love that.
Yeah, that's true. I wonder if there's no dirt oil, I'm sure. Maybe is there? You can't distill dirt.
Joanne's recommended tea tree. Yes, that would be another good one as well. So there are so many oils, but my thing is I actually take we have lots of immune support supplements and blends of oils. So I'm very keen to keep myself, like I got a birthday in a couple of days. I'm getting older every year.
Happy birthday. You're a Leo then?
Pardon?
You're a Leo.
Yes, certainly.
So are you the 18th?
The 17th.
17th. Oh, that's great. Happy birthday.
Thank you. So my mum died of Parkinson's disease. I watched that. It was no fun. And that has given me the impetus to go, I don't want bad health to be part of my lifestyle. So if I don't want that to be part of my lifestyle, what am I doing to look after myself? Like, drinking fresh water, drinking, being out in amongst nature. And to me, bringing essential oils, what they do is they raise our vibrations. They support all the natural functions of our body, and that's what brings us back into balance.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think I could think of anything more natural than an essential oil, really. It's the lifeblood of the plant.
Yes, it is. It so is. Yeah. And if done the right way, wow, that's beautiful. I always have associated people who use essential oils, I don't know why, but just as successful, as well balanced, because I've never, I don't know about you, but I've never gone into someone's house that is, diffusing a beautiful essential oil and they've got crap all over the floor and their life is disorientated. They just seem like, okay, well, this person's got it together. What is their secret? Oh, they've got an oil burner. I don't know why. It seems like it brings everything together. Whether those people
on that note, I'll explain how these work. And Gary Young from Young Living invented the surprise, surprise. So at the bottom of this has got water in it, but at the bottom of the diffuser, there's a little round plate, and it vibrates at a really fast rate. And that means it's breaking the molecules of the oils into microscopic sized pieces, and it comes through the mist with the water. And that's how they actually work. So we're talking about vibrations here, and that's what the diffusers, they actually, the ultrasonic ones work with a vibration.
Wow, I never knew that.
Yeah.
Always wondered how it worked.
Yes, Elizabeth, great idea. The other name for a lemon balm is Melissa.
Oh, is it really?
Yes. And Tiffy, yes, they call them essential oils for that very reason. Thanks, Kels Bells.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Yeah, nice. I'm back and had to take a call. Whitney's back.
Hi, Honey. Oh, wow. This is so exciting. I have so many more questions for you. I'm watching the time. It's gone by really fast. So can I just ask, okay, before we do go though, Kay, I want to ask, do you have one favorite oil that you work with every day? I know it's like asking your favorite child, right?
At the moment, and
Yeah.
I have been for a long time, I discovered Lady Sclerol more recently, and that is a great oil for women. And it's got what's it got in it? I can't. It's a good hormonal, happy hormonal oil,
Oh, we all need
and
that.
it's got geranium in it, a few others. And when I wear it, people just say, "Oh my gosh, what are you wearing?" And I went into a hairdresser a few weeks ago, and she had a client in the chair. And when it was my turn to get my hair, just my trim, she said, "What are you wearing? Something really nice." She said, "When you walked into the room, I just went, oh, I felt so relaxed." And I thought that was fantastic because, when you wear them, after a while, you forget you've got them on because
Yeah.
it just becomes part of you. But when you're around people will just give me a hug and say, "Oh my God, you smell beautiful. What have you got on today?" So that is my go-to at the moment. But, I have different oils for different times of the
Yeah.
day. So there's a couple of oils I wear before I go to bed at night. One's called Progessence, another good girly oil, and one's called Tranquil, and they're my go to sleep and have a great evening
I
oils.
noticed you've got a necklace on, one of those ones that you actually put the oils on, right?
Yes, so you open the necklace. Please be a part of our girls' spiritual retreat to Cairns. Oh, that's a nice one.
Yeah, okay. We're going to organise one in Cairns.
Well, I'm coming up in
We,
if you do it
we,
in May next year.
yeah, Tina, we did discuss doing events, Kay and I. We're
Yes,
keen.
swollen
So,
glands and also.
what oil did you put on that this morning then, Kay?
Um, I have got some abundance. I love wearing abundance
Ah,
oil. So,
that was one of the cards that came out for my weekly reading, abundance. So maybe you're just attuning
nice.
that. That's
Yes,
nice.
fantastic. That's where I was born, Tassie Wynyard. Oh, there you go, Whitney. Well, I'm at Sisters Beach, very close to you. And that's where I shop in Wynyard. Now in Kalgoorlie, I do a lot of relief teaching. I might have taught you, Whitney. May it's
Kel's bells
perfect.
is
Oh, your 40th. Well, Tina, that sounds good. I think it was. Is it? I don't know. Well, we can get together. You obviously know Tina well, so we can get
yeah, we should
together
do a
in
retreat.
States.
Okay.
We have a Young Living conference in Queensland, and I'm planning to go to that. And I'm thinking, well, after that, maybe I'll do a road trip or a plane trip or something.
Yes. Yeah, I'm definitely keen. Kel's Bells is asking how you spell the good feminine one with the hormones.
Tiffy's been kind enough to post it
Oh, did
somewhere.
you?
Yeah, Tiffy, I've got a cabin of.
Oh, lady.
It's perfect. It's your 40th. Where Lady Sclerol, I saw Tiffy post that somewhere, I thought.
Yeah, it's up on the screen now.
Okay. Oh, okay. You've got, oh, good. Yes.
Yeah.
So if you haven't got an account, a wholesale account, or you want to get some Young Living oils, come and I think all my details are there. I also have an essential oil wisdom group. I go live every Wednesday night, and sometimes we have little get-togethers on Zoom. So we would love to have you come and join us if you are interested in that at all too.
So anyone's watching or watch replay, please let us know. But Kay and I are going to be doing these on a regular basis. So the next time we do this, Kay is going to be full of questions for myself, and I'll do my best to be giving my Scorpio side. Like I'll try and tell you things. I'm always intrigued. I like listening to people's stories, and that's when I started like watching your show. So. But we'll be doing this more and more. And guys, if you have any, specific questions that you want to ask Kay, find her on her Facebook page, contact her directly through all the details there. But we'll be on once a month, I think it is, Kay. Hey.
Yes, we will be.
Because we want to give you guys the tools that we use if they can help you, or maybe we can learn from you guys. You might have some things that, I didn't think about that. So I'm discovering oils.
Yes, nice. And we've got Rosie chiming in here. Rosie, you're not on the replay. We are alive right now. Some of my oily friends. So once you join our oil group, if for people who are interested, we have an intention group every fortnight, and it's very, very well priced. And anyway, lots of things that you can, if you want to friend request me, you can. If you want to come and join my oil group, you can. Some of you already follow us as well, so it's nice to see some of you here today.
Tina said she's going to get some questions down, ready to go.
Oh,
Yeah, please do that, guys. Get your questions ready, because after we do the next one, we're going to be doing more specific topics, and we'll just discuss those with you guys, and let's all help each other and make sure we're living life well.
Exactly, yeah. So I love that, because it's like an oil well, you know.
Yes, yeah, I love it. I'm very keen. So lovely. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to doing more with you with this. I really enjoyed. I know I'm going to have so many more questions for you, so just brace yourself next time we speak.
Fantastic. Okay.
And thanks everyone for watching. I hope you have a fantastic afternoon, and make sure you get in touch with myself. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, and have a good afternoon. Oil up, everybody.
Yeah, oil up. Bye.